love Uber Eats. I wanted to treat myself the other day, so I decided to Uber Eats myself a rotisserie chicken. And everyone, if you're saying that's not a treat, you have not experienced that unbridled joy of just ripping into a full rotisserie chicken with just your hands at 2 a.m. I think that is what heaven is, just eating unlimited rotisserie chicken on a cloud somewhere. God, I'm waiting for it. So I Uber Eats this chicken, and my Uber Eats man said my favorite phrase, "It's at your door." I run to the door, there's a bag out there, I bring it inside, stapled to my bag is my order receipt. I had successfully paid for 1 rotisserie chicken. And in the bag were 2 rotisserie chickens. Everyone, you would have thought I hit the Powerball that day. I called everyone I knew, I was like, "Mom, you won't believe it. There were 2 chickens in the bag." It was the best day of my life. I have not been able to shut up about it. And you might be thinking, I hope you just pace those chickens out and split them between the day. No, I ate one right after the other. I surprised myself. It was the most action my bedroom's seen in years. I was like, this is shocking. It was such a good day. Good chicken as well. I don't want this to be only about the food I like. I have other things going on too. I live in DC. I'm a volunteer. I volunteer at a rehabilitation center in my free time. I like it quite a bit. The residents of this rehabilitation center, they have to be at least 90 years old to live there. So they're whom you would call senior citizens. Maybe even you would just call them old. I like old people. And old people have always really liked me. I think it's my voice. I think old people listen to me speak and it reminds them of a time gone by. Like they hear my words and they say, "Oh my God, I know you. You sound like my milkman from 1932. And I understand it, it's the transatlantic accent. It confuses a lot of people. You all don't know if I'm about to start singing, "There goes my baby," and my curtain will fall down. I'll be ripped off stage with a cane. That won't happen tonight, don't worry. The worst part about having this voice, though, is that after shows, sometimes people will come up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, how wonderful that you've developed this show voice for us." But this is my actual speaking voice. Like, for as long as I've been alive and speaking, this has been the voice that has come out of me. So as surprised as you all are, please imagine the shock of my parents when little 4-year-old Stacey approached them one day, apropos of nothing, and said, "I'm ready for preschool today." Yeah, they did not know what to do. They're like, "Who is this vaudeville character? What happened to our child?" Oh, speaking of children, I am thinking about adopting a highway. But how many people do you know have adopted a highway? Not many. And here's the thing, I'm not allowed to drive. So I would have to, yeah, the government made sure of that. They're like, they just took it away. But it's like, I would have to call an Uber to my highway then and be like, "Look, Uber man, this is my highway. Mommy's here, highway." Yeah, I'm really excited about that part, the maternal bonding aspect of my highway. I hope it latches. I'm the type of person, I have a lot of transportation-related jokes. Here's another one. I take the train a lot for work. In DC, we have like a version of the train. It's called Metro. If you've been to DC, maybe you've taken it. It's also called WMATA. I was waiting for my Metro train the other day to get to work, and you know when you're waiting for a train, you're just kind of staring at the tracks, waiting for the train to roll in. And while I was doing that, a train rolled into the tracks behind me. All these people started to get out, including this gentleman, and he was holding hands with what looked like was his 4-year-old daughter. And when the daughter saw me, she ran away from her father. She ran up to me, and she said, "Mommy, it's me!" Well, everyone, I was confused because I don't have kids, but I do have anxiety. And I was staring at this child and I was thinking, is it possible? Like, is it possible that this man got my eggs classes like science, math, Punnett square, all things I do very poorly. When, like, the gentleman, he runs up and scoops up his child and says, "Ma'am, I am so sorry. She does this to literally everybody." And then carried her away, and the whole time she's waving at me, and she's like, "Bye, Mommy." And I was like, "Goodbye, liar." I do one day want to get married. I want to have a family. I want to live in a house. I rent right now. A lot of my friends are buying houses, which is good for them. The thing about buying a house today is I went to a party the other day. It was like a housewarming thing, and my friend had like this like whole charcuterie board set up, and I was like, okay, we get it. You do well. But like I was like eating this piece of salami on it, and it dropped out of my hand and fell onto the ground, and I was like, that's okay, we can turn this night around. So what I did, everyone, is I bent down on all fours like an animal, and I started to run my hand across the ground to find my piece of salami, and then I did, and then when I like stood up, I held the salami by my pocket like this, and I made a very grave error in that I tried to rejoin the party. And unfortunately, someone had seen me do all of this, and in front of everyone, she said, "Stacey, don't put that meat in your pocket." Well, everyone, I don't keep meat in my pocket, okay? I'm not that type of person. But I had never been to this house before, and I didn't know where the trash can was, and I wasn't going to ask, so I put the meat in my pocket. Okay, the meat is in my pocket. Very uncomfortable. And can I say this? I grew up in the 90s, and in the 90s you always knew where the trash can was. It was like in a corner somewhere. Nowadays people have remodeled their kitchens, and they hide their trash can away in a drawer, making you look like the fool when you open every drawer of their house, being like, "Is this your trash can?" "Oh, no, it's not. It's just your personal documents." "Well, is this your trash can?" It must end. I'm just gonna get out of here on this. As I said, I do want to get married one day. I'm on the apps. If you're on the apps, and so everyone, if you're looking for me, download an app. You'll find me there. But I am trying to meet someone. But as I said, you know, socialization's difficult for me. I take everything literally. For example, over the years I've heard this phrase. It's called Netflix and chill. And I thought that to do that phrase, someone had to approach you with those exact words. Like, do you want to Netflix and chill? But the other day I went to a birthday party, and I was interfacing with a new human being. And eventually they said to me, "Hey, do you want to get out of here and come back to my place and watch Netflix?" And I said, "Oh, no. Thank you, because nothing good is streaming on Netflix right now." And the whole party had to rally around me, and they said, "No, Stacey, they're trying to get you to come home with them." And I said, "Oh my God, this is for sex? Tonight would be the perfect evening to have